Welcome back to Sunday Vibes, you beautiful people. Would you believe it? Juventus versus Inter Milan this afternoon. Let us know what you think that score is going to be. But all week, you've been sending in your cues. We are about to provide some fine A's to us. And as you can see, talking of A's, George Wright has joined us in the corner. Don't know what's happened to him. He's been missing for months. Honestly, he just turned up today and we decided, let's get him on a shoot.
Let's go to the pub.
Yeah. Well, Chris Hamill, he could be on the way out.
He's in a bad way.
He's in a bad way. Very bad stomach. And of course, Patrick Van Straan, as he is sat to my right. Let's kick it straight off then. Yoan Kane. He says, who is the best player that doesn't play in the top 5 European leagues, or America, or China?
All right.
Now, the top 5 European leagues, I'm saying the Prem, La Liga, Serie A, Ligue 1, and the Bundesliga. You've got to go outside those bad boys. Patrick Van Straan, the affiliate, is saying, me. Why didn't you lead us off, mate?
Great. So glad you came to me. They're not beady. Shut your mouth.
They are.
You've got the eyes of a crab. Like, I don't know. Look, Hakim Ziyech is very tempting. He's obviously tearing shit up for Ajax. But I think I will go for Andre Silva. There are a lot of players who are exciting in the Portuguese league right now. You know, Grimaldo, William Carvalho, Danilo, Ruben Neves. But I think Andre Silva is already contributing at a really high level. Yeah. He's got 12 goals in 19 league appearances this season. He's 21 years old. Like he's also, and then in Europe, I think he's got like 5 in 9, something like that. So this is 5 in 8. So this is a guy who is doing the business in every competition where he plays.
Porto, he's got to be joining a bigger team for us to start.
Well, he's only 21.
Exactly.
That time will come.
Exactly.
True, very
and it's possible some slots are going to open this summer. So, for instance, we're hearing rumours that Batshuayi could leave Chelsea. Hearing rumours that Morata could leave Real Madrid. Yeah. Well, Andre Silva would be a really good backup striker for either one of those teams.
Would you have him at the Gunners?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he'd probably cost a fortune, but he's versatile, he's creative, he's quick enough, he's very young, like I say.
Is he a Mendes player?
I don't know, but
Scream George Mendes.
Yeah, it does seem like 90% George Mendes.
Scream George Mendes. What are you saying then, slithering in the corner?
Well, I was tempted to stay in Portugal with Miguel Leun, who was absolutely mental last season in terms of numbers. Yeah. Flopped at Watford, went to Porto, and he's doing ridiculous stuff.
Can play on the wing, can play the fullback.
But I'm going for the old-timer, Wesley Sneijder.
Ooh,
Wesley Sneijder.
I love Wesley Sneijder. What a baller.
He's still balling now. He's getting 3.2 chances per 90 in Turkey. 0.7 assists a game.
0.7 assists a game.
Yeah.
He's getting 3 assists. He's getting 2 assists every 3 games.
Yeah.
That's mental.
And last week he got 3 assists in a game. So
a hat-trick of assists, not done by many, but Wesley Sneijder. He's always been a baller.
Yeah, you could argue that he got robbed of the Ballon d'Or in 2010. Holland in the World Cup, treble.
You could argue that.
You could argue that.
I mean, I wouldn't.
Surely it's the same argument that people had this year that Ronaldo shouldn't have won it because all of his achievements were team achievements.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's always true, isn't it? Because football's not basketball. Like, it's not an individual.
Very
like,
true.
the individual can't carry a team in quite the same way.
He had so many chances to join Manchester United, Wesley Sneijder. We should have bought him in so many times. But he just kept on going, nah.
And Gaetan out wide?
Yeah. Well, Gaetan's perennially linked.
Garay, Gaetan,
Honestly,
Makeda up front.
I'm fucking delighted when he joined Atletico Madrid, just so you weren't linked with the bastard. Honestly, apparently Manchester United officials had to have words with his agent to stop leaking rumours to the press, because every week it was in Ebola. Gaetan, 32 million euros to Manchester United. Fuck off. We don't need him now, we didn't need him then. I'm going to go for, though, Jonas. Not the first time I've talked about him on this show. Massively underrated striker. He's got 74 goals in 94 games
in the
league for Benfica since he's joined the club.
Dirty.
That is ridiculous return. Obviously, he's won back-to-back league titles with Benfica since he's been there. Last year, he was only beaten to the European Golden Shoe by 3 players. They were Suarez, Messi, and Higuain. So
Fair enough.
He outscored Robert Lewandowski. Nobody even talks about this guy as being one of the world's best strikers.
Yeah, but Bastos at the minute is top of the Golden Shoe race. So
he's having a good. Let's not forget Bas Dost in Holland was scoring at nearly a goal again.
Did you see him, Wolfsburg?
Bas Dost is absolutely dreadful. Like, I mean, he is an appalling player. Come on.
Yeah, I admit, Mitroglou did dirty things last season, and let's not forget how poor he was with Fulham. But Jonas He's a natural goal scorer. It's only a matter of time before he heads out to China and takes his retirement package.
Oh, the classic old player route.
Yeah,
They do the tour of Portugal, Turkey, Russia.
Exactly.
Straight to China.
It's spot on. £18 million a year. Jonas out there, loving life. Tianjin Quanjin under Manuel Pellegrini, getting paid an absolute fortune to do fuck all. But whatever. Let him be, 'cause he's scoring goals for fun at Benfica. But who do you think is the best player outside of Europe's top 5 leagues and America and China? Let us know in the comments down there. Roberto Cordoba has the next one. He says, which Champions League final has been the most dramatic and emotional in the last 20 years? Let's keep this one short, Georgie. Right? What are you saying, mate?
2006, when Sol Campbell had us 1-0 in front, and then Belletti scored a near post winner against Manuel Almunia. Great.
Manuel Almunia loved conceding at his front post, so there's nothing wrong with that.
He loved conceding everywhere, mate. Like, it wasn't special. I don't really like the Champions League, mate.
You're not the champion.
Nah, it's rubbish. I think probably the best final of the last few years. Maybe when Swansea won 5-0 in the League Cup final. When Wigan beat Man City in the FA Cup final.
Shut your mouth.
Or what about when Fulham reached the Europa League final? There you go. What a game that was.
I'm going to go, it's a tough one between Istanbul and 99. I think I'm going to go for 99, just to be a United fan, but equally I think that Liverpool comeback has to be the most dramatic, and Manchester United's the most emotional.
They're never that entertaining, Champions League finals.
Tell that to Istanbul, mate. What are you
The whole city. Tell it to
It would have
them.
been more entertaining if they'd come back and then lost. That would have been really funny. But like, the one a few years ago, I think it was 2011, was it, when Man United lost 3-1 to Barcelona?
Yeah.
Barcelona, it was like peak Pep Barcelona,
it was, yeah.
and Wayne Rooney scored an absolutely sensational goal.
lovely
It
goal.
was so good. That was a great final.
So there we have it. Next question then, from a name we're not too sure about, could be Koff the Man, or it could be just be Koff the Man. So let us know what it is if you are Koff the Man. But he says, who is the best Scandinavian player of all time? There is probably only one winner here, Pato, and I imagine you're going to take him. So tell the people.
Michael Laudrup.
Agreed.
It's got to be Michael Laudrup. I mean, like, talk about your Gunnar Nordahls, that guy needs a shout, you know, but it's pretty obviously Michael Laudrup. The guy was absolutely sensational. Ask Iniesta who the greatest player of all time is. He'll tell you it's Michael Laudrup, probably.
You've definitely said that across.
He was absolutely unbelievable. Like, it's hard to remember now because he's kind of in that weird blind spot. Like, players who played recently, you obviously remember watching, and players who played in the past, like, are far enough away that everyone talks about them all the time because journalists saw them in their youth.
It's like the absence of TV.
Yeah, so it's right in the middle there where you didn't really watch him. Like, same reason Hugo Sanchez gets forgotten. But anyway, he was at Barcelona. Barcelona beat Real Madrid 5-0, won the title. Okay, then they needed to make space for more kind of external players, foreign players. So he went to Real Madrid. The next season, Real Madrid beat Barcelona 5-0 and won the title. Like that's the perfect encapsulation of like what a decisive player he was. Incredible vision, elegant. Like combine the best of somebody like Toni Kroos with the best of someone like Dennis Bergkamp. I mean, he's an absolutely sensational player.
Hell of a player. Seeing as you're sat in Chris Hamill's seat, let the legacy live on, George. What would he say, mate?
Henrik Larsson.
100%.
Sebastian Larsson.
The King of Kings, as they call him.
Why is he called the King of Kings?
I don't really know.
I don't know what that.
But
Just
let's go with it.
Then. Let's go with
But
it. I agree.
obviously, for Celtic, even after his leg break, got 250 goals in over 300 games.
That's madness.
He was a complete game changer every club he played for afterwards. Came on against us in the Champions League final, just ripped to shreds.
Yeah.
Did he win the league at United as well?
I'm not sure if he won a league, but he was exceptional that season.
He's only there for half a season.
Yeah, he joined in January.
Yeah.
6 months. He was so influential.
Yeah. So if it's not Michael Laudrup, next best, probably Henrik Larsson.
Yeah.
I think if it's not Michael Laudrup, I think the next best is Zlatan. I think Zlatan's got Henrik Larsson in his pocket. Only just, but I think he just edges him because he's been such a journeyman. He's done it in so many different countries, so many different playing styles as well, that it's hard to argue that he is one of the greatest strikers of all time, Zlatan. When you've scored as many goals as he has, you've won every domestic honour. Unfortunately, of course, never won a Champions League. But he's won every domestic honour. He's getting better with age. This is like a 35, 36-year-old who has come to the Premier League and is still dominating it. 14 goals in the Premier League so far this season, challenging for a golden boot. Of course, was scoring up more than a goal a game at PSG in his final season. he's been there for so long and done it for so long in so many different countries.
Yeah.
I think it just pips Henrik Larsson to the post.
No, he is a great player. I think the problem is with Zlatan, like, when he was a bit younger, people talked about him as if he was, one of the greatest players of all time. And then he actually became really, really amazing.
Yeah.
But because I hated all those people who'd gone on about him before, I didn't really care.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if his teammates could finish this season, he would have so many assists as well. He's so creative. He's so strong. Yeah. He's intelligent. It pains me to say it, but I really do love Zlatan.
He's like the perfect Premier League number 9.
He is,
yeah. He is, actually.
And he's gotten there at 35 years old, which says a lot.
Insane.
Really.
I think, though, that we're all in agreement, aren't we? That it has to be Michael Laudrup as the number 1.
I think so.
And then Zlatan, Henrik Larsson, just behind him. The next question is a very relevant one at the moment. It's Coachy1011, and he says, why do you guys think Barcelona are struggling this season? They are really struggling as well. I personally think it's got a lot to do with the aging Andres Iniesta. This is a guy who's already missed 60 days so far in the 2016-17 season from knee injuries. He's now going to miss probably 20 days with a muscular injury. He's 32 years of age. Over the last 5 to 10 years, he's been arguably the best midfielder on the planet every single season. He was incredibly influential under Pep Guardiola especially, and in Luis Enrique's first season. With his age, they're yet to find a suitable replacement. They're really struggling. They've tried Gomes in there. They've tried, who else? They tried Denis Suarez for a little bit in there. They've tried...
Do they play Turan in that position?
Yeah, they play Turan there.
Lionel Messi's having to drop back a lot deeper to help Andres Iniesta create more. I think the more Iniesta fades out of Barcelona, the harder Enrique is finding it to get a midfield that works as a trio. I think that's the key for this season.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say my argument's related to that because mine's about Busquets. I think Busquets has been out of form this season, which is really unusual. I mean, he's consistently been, I think, the best midfielder in the world over the last few years. Yeah, he's absolutely incredible at playing that position. He covers huge amounts of space. His anticipation is amazing. He's not the fastest. No. But the issue that Barcelona have is that first people kind of figured them out, which was that if you take away Busquets, they really struggle to advance the ball, right? So people started pressing Busquets. Now, normally, if you have Iniesta, that's not a problem because then he'll drop deep and be the passing hub instead, you know. But when Iniesta isn't playing and you've got somebody like Andre Gomes who isn't very good, or Denis Suarez who is good but is still very young, then it's really hard for them to kind of take that pressure off that one vital player. So I think that Busquets being out of form, I'm not sure what it is, but if you look at passing maps of Barcelona this season, there's this huge void in the centre of the pitch where you used to see Busquets spraying passes everywhere, and now he's just disappeared for some reason.
So we've gone for the midfield, George. What do you say?
Well, I think both of them together, a culmination of the midfield and the attack not being as fluid as it, from watching them, not to seem as fluid as it usually is. Like, Suarez is still scoring, Messi is still scoring, but Neymar, although
struggling, he's
still producing like amazing numbers, but compared to what he did last year, 24 goals last season in the league, he's now got six so far this season, and he's got like nine assists, and they've got Turan's come in and he's doing okay, but a fit and firing Neymar is what they need at the minute, and he's not really providing the goods.
Yeah, I guess if you chucked on another 15 goals to Neymar's talent, you'd probably see Barcelona jump up right around Real Madrid sort of similar.
So I think Suarez and Messi around 15, 16 goals in the league, and then there's just a massive drop off on the left hand side where usually Neymar feels it would be at least 10 goals at this point.
But the thing is, nothing's that wrong with Barcelona. Like, okay, they haven't actually been great this season, and obviously sometimes you look at the table and you say, well, it says they've been good, but maybe they haven't. But look at the facts, they're not that far behind Real Madrid, albeit Real Madrid have a game in hand. But Real Madrid have just come off the back of a 40-game unbeaten streak, and Barcelona are still just a couple of results away from taking the title away from them. So how bad have they been really?
It seems to be little areas that are just keeps popping
that
up.
Right back area is still a big issue for Barcelona ever since Dani Alves vacated. I still don't think Sergio Roberto is the right man for that position in the long term. He's doing okay there now, but I'm unconvinced about him in the long term.
No, I mean, well, I don't know. He's talented, but you wonder if they need a more dynamic player there. But like, Barcelona fans, I imagine, would say that Luis Enrique is the problem.
100%, all over my Twitter every week.
And it's possible that a better manager would have figured out these problems in midfield that we're talking about, or would have figured out the Neymar situation. That's entirely possible. But Enrique, I still think, is a very good manager. maybe people are talking about Sampaoli. If they get Sampaoli, then that would be very fun to see. But I don't want him to leave Sevilla. So
Yeah.
Kaiser has our next question. He says, which Premier League manager was most hyped but never lived up to their potential? I'm going to go for Louis van Gaal. Louis van Gaal. He came in with such a high reputation. He'd done amazing stuff at Ajax, obviously won a Champions League there. He'd been brilliant at Barcelona. He'd been brilliant at Bayern Munich. He started that three-phase plan that the Bayern Munich hierarchy put into place when they went Louis van Gaal, then they went Jupp Heynckes, then they eventually found their way to Pep Guardiola. He'd done a brilliant job at Holland. Obviously shifted to that three at the back system, took them to a World Cup semi-final, made Spain look like absolute mugs. Bought was it Tim Crawley bought?
Yeah, for the penalty shootout.
That was so good.
Came in, I remember Robin Van Persie giving an interview going, the good times will be back. I don't know why Arnold Schwarzenegger turned up there, but Robin Van Persie very much hyped him up, and then it all fell flat. It all fell flat. Very static football, possession-based football that never really went anywhere. He struggled to get the best out of Angel Di Maria that he brought in. It's just a shame. Everybody was expecting so much from Louis after such a shit time with David Moyes, and sadly he never quite made it. I know he won an FA Cup, and he'll go down in history for that, but really he
Flags fly for him.
he was way off the pace where he should have been. Pato.
Andre Villas-Boas.
Oh, AVB.
He came to the league.
Yes.
Genuinely being talked about as the new Mourinho. They were like, he's won the league with Porto. He's gone unbeaten. What a man! He never played either. You know, like he likes suits. He likes fashion. Like, and he turned out to be. I don't know. Look,
he's okay.
I was going to say shit, but I don't think he was shit. I just don't think. I think he was a bit out of his depth at Chelsea, and also he got shafted by the kind of the old guard there. You know, like I think he actually kind of did the sensible thing. Like, I'm not saying that Lampard and John Terry and all those guys were finished, because obviously Terry went on to win another title. Yeah. Lampard still was contributing, but they weren't like. The club did need to think about the future and sort of bringing in some of the youngsters, and he tried to do that, and he just got berated for it. It was horrendous. No, he didn't win anything with Chelsea. He left halfway through the season, like with them looking like they were on the verge of exiting the Champions League. They lost 3-1 to Napoli away. Then Di Matteo comes in. Bobby Di Matteo, what a man.
Christ.
They win 4-1, go on to win the Champions League. I mean, then he gets a chance at Spurs, and again, people were kind of hyping him up and saying maybe it was just a bit too early for Chelsea. Yeah. And he did an okay job. The problem was that when they lost horribly. Yeah. They got the shit kicked out of them. Yeah. And what do clubs not like? They don't like being humiliated. Yeah. And so Daniel Levy had enough of that. They lost to Liverpool 5-0 or something ridiculous. And he was off to Russia. But I don't know. I liked him. I felt a bit sorry for him, but my God, was he hyped, and he did not live up to his potential.
He's in China.
He's in China, man. I think he might be in the Chinese second division actually,
alongside Fabio Cannavaro.
That is, he is alongside Fabio Cannavaro. So the one, the only AVB, Pato. George, what are you saying, mate?
It has to be Bobby Martinez.
Oh, I hated Roberto Martinez.
Absolutely lovely bloke, but a god-awful manager. He was fucking terrible.
He was fine at Wigan. What are you talking about?
He was not.
Roberto Martinez kept them up several times, and that was a championship squad.
He won the FA Cup, which is fair fucks.
Very good. That was a real achievement.
But then he got crowned as the creme de la creme, he's going to manage one of the top four.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Oh, it'll come to Arsenal. Yeah. Him and Owen Coyle, the dream team, taking over from Wenger.
And then where did he go? Everton. He said to the chairman, "I'll get you Champions League."
First season Champions League.
No chance. Fucking terrible.
Absolutely terrible.
Actually, the first season they were great. They pushed us for 5th place. Do you not remember? And then the season after that, all the David Moyes defence had crumbled into dust, and they were absolute wang.
Basically he completely relied, didn't he, on David Moyes' defensive structure.
That was still there. And then Jagielka got old, and Distin got old.
Got to change this around.
I'm surprised he didn't try and bring in Emerson Boyce and Gary Caldwell.
Maina Figueroa.
It wouldn't have surprised me either. I actually really didn't like him.
I like him. He was a nice fella.
He's now at Belgium, though.
He just somehow he's at Belgium.
Jesus, can you imagine how bad that's going to be?
It's like you had Mark Wilmots, who was the most defensive man in the world, and you got Martinez, who just not give a fuck about defending, and just bombs forward. But
who
knows how it's going to work out.
I feel sorry for Belgium fans.
I don't.
So did you see Lukaku when he found out that he got appointed on the bench? Jesus Christ.
we brought you that news a moment ago that Roberto Martinez has been named as the new manager of Belgium. I do hope that's not a direct reaction from Romelu Lukaku to that news.
Jamie Smalley. Now this is a really intense question. This is going to take some thinking, lads. Why is Van Straten in such a bad mood? Question mark. It's every week, mate.
What are you talking about? I've been a delight today. It's absolute bullshit. Let me see it. What's your name?
Jamie Smalley.
What's your address? You can't even spell my name correctly. That's why I'm in a bad mood, you piece of shit. There are 2 A's. There's a small V, there's a capital S. Sort it out.
So that's all we've got time for on today's Sunday Vibes, but we wanted to give a big shout out to you guys at home for subscribing, because we did hit 1 million subscribers the other day, so a massive thank you to everybody at home. Also, thanks for your questions this week. If you want to be featured next week, bang them in the comments right now with the hashtag Sunday Vibes. Thank you to George for joining me. He might be back next week. Pato as ever. Thanks for you guys at home at watching. Didn't make sense, and we'll catch you next time.